You're listening to the Decor8 podcast with Patrick Ali and Chad Poole.
Sorry, I had to sync the audio.
Did that on purpose.
And right off the bat, we scared Lucas.
What just happened?
So part of the process is just syncing the audio with. So we got audio here, but video there. So I take the video and I put it with the audio after, like in post. So I clap to sync it.
That's an interesting technique.
It is. That's
I don't think I know that one.
It's the standard.
That's it.
Is it?
Insider.
It's the standard.
Insider secret.
Inside
That's why, like,
secrets.
on takes for the movies, they have the clapper thing.
Uh-huh.
It creates a loud sound, so you can see it in the wave.
Oh.
Yeah. So then you can mark those two spots, and you can actually cut them out and line them up, and then you're already done.
We just don't have the overhead to get the actual.
Really?
we don't have Spielberg.
We don't have any.
That's hey,
we don't have any money.
Podcast?
We just
I've
use
always
your
just had
hands. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, let's just hop into it. We don't have. We're not doing intro anymore until we get our setup. We got everything kind of
So
rearranged in cameras. Yeah, we do. We have intro music.
Okay.
That's pretty
Yep.
sweet.
I see.
But there will be
Will it
some
play?
on the final.
Will it play?
It will.
Play on the final. Yeah. I'll show it to you afterwards.
Yeah.
It's, like a-
Very.
This is so cool.
Like,
it's soothing.
it reminds me of a newspaper.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's old timey.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I wanted it like reading a newspaper on a bench in like Hart Plaza was the vibe I was going for.
Hart Plaza. Is that in Troy?
This is Detroit, yeah,
Okay.
right on the waterfront.
I always get confused. I've lived so many places.
Yeah.
It's hard
Well,
to
Campus
remember.
Martius and then Hart Plaza and then a bunch of other things. Anyways, let's hop into it. We got Lucas and Dalton from CraftHTV. What's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Thank
How
you
you guys
for
doing?
sticking it out with us. You guys had this like you guys have been traveling a bunch.
We did.
And
It's
then
winter.
And then you get
It
up
was
at,
supposed to be 3 states.
right. And what time did you get up this morning to get on a flight?
5.
5, yeah.
5.
Yeah.
And all that
5 o'clock.
just so I could have you basically sit in a chair for 2 hours waiting for me.
Yes.
There it is.
I apologize.
That's okay.
This is all for you.
we
I appreciate it.
We mucked. Was it mucked? Hushed. What do dogs do through the snow?
Oh, mush?
Mushed
Yeah, yeah.
through the
Mushed
snow. It's snowing.
Yeah, it is snowing.
It's
and it's
pouring
sticking.
and it's sticking.
He's never driven in winter, by the way.
Never
Really?
once.
Wow.
We have winter once every like century
Yeah.
in the
Really?
house.
So for anybody that doesn't know, CraftHTV has a location in Michigan and in Texas. Lucas is from Michigan,
I am. Oh,
but you're
yes.
from
From
Texas.
Texas, yeah.
So the coldest it gets is, you said it's gotten to a low of
So
40
it'll
before.
drop to like 20, maybe 3 times a year. That's it.
Yeah.
I've been
For
down.
for a brief second,
But
and then
other
it's
than
70
that,
degrees.
Raising sunshine.
Yep.
So I've been down to Dallas quite a bit actually, and I was down there. I remember twice now. I was down there during the winter, and if you guys just get a little bit of dusting or ice or whatever, everything shuts
Yep.
down.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done.
It's like, he's like, I'm out.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Wow.
literally no infrastructure for it.
Yeah.
Not at all. There's no
We
salt
get-
trucks, there's nothing.
it's
But
crazy.
you guys don't you have like really nice roads though everywhere?
Somewhere, some places.
I
Sure.
feel like here
If it's a toll road.
okay, well that's different, but I feel like here every road sucks.
Really.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michigan roads are the worst.
Yeah.
Ours
I
are pretty
really
good. Ours are pretty good.
When I was a kid growing up, I really liked the stretch between 475 and Birch Run.
Okay.
They're always working on it, but the road is really good now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're right. Everything sucks here.
That's the only way you know you're in Ohio. It's
Yeah.
like the roads, the audio of
That's
your
right.
tires hitting the pavement change
Oh yeah.
between
Oh, I
those 2
know.
points, and that's it.
I know as soon as I get down there.
And the reflectors. Every road has reflectors.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
stinks.
I love that.
Yep. So obviously, thank you both for making a special trip out here, because I don't think that you guys were coming out normally. You just made kind of an extra trip for us, which I appreciate, and obviously to visit home.
Oh, it's fun.
No,
It's
we're not
fun.
visiting home.
No.
Oh, we're not gonna go.
Going straight
never mind.
back. All right. Well.
It's a 2-hour drive to the store, and Jennifer's
Yeah.
a boss. You don't have to bother her.
Jennifer is for real. Jennifer is.
She calls me maybe twice
No
a
G.
week, maybe.
So,
Buy
shout
something
out
she doesn't have the
Jennifer.
credit card for, so that's about it.
Nice.
Does everything
So she
herself.
runs the store out there, and
Yeah.
where's the store again?
It's in
Jonesville.
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 So it's 45 minutes south of Jackson.
Okay.
And she knows everyone. It doesn't matter who it is. She knows them.
Well, the town
So-
is super small,
I mean,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Small
lived there
town.
her whole life, so
Yeah,
she knows
she knows
every
everybody.
person, and
Yeah.
she brings a lot of business and then doesn't really try at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big personality.
Yeah.
Where my
Don't
brother
mess with
lives
her.
in West Virginia, it's like same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, where he's at, everybody knows everything about everyone, and he hates it because he's like such a private person, like former military, super private person himself, and
Yeah.
he even bought a house like on the top of a mountain just so he didn't have to deal with anyone.
That's what's up.
So,
That's
but
what's
yeah,
up.
but everybody still knows his business, and he hates it. So, but no, yeah, I do appreciate you guys coming out. I wanted to highlight CraftHTV in this episode. We wanted to highlight CraftHTV in this episode because you're, I mean, one of our probably most active on social. Our most active on social media, and you've you've gone into a different lane as of this year that I've noticed of making specific commercials. Like just your video content is different, which thanks to your video content creator sitting on camera right now.
He's not on camera here either.
Right. Never on camera. It's all right. But, you know, you take the time to really acknowledge the product, acknowledge the marketing. But I want to start from the beginning. Just talk about the inception of CraftHTV and, you know, what the point was to even start your own place.
The only thing that matters is that the craft market, the people that started buying crickets, put our actual business out of business. We had a decal company. We partnered with people like Amazon and Top Hatter and sold a ton of decals really fast. And when you know your sister makes decals, you're not going to buy from a company you don't know.
Right.
So it was really hard, even with paid marketing, to continue that business. And you know, shout out to Mike Brown from Fellers in Detroit. He actually was the one that said, hey, you should look at this machine. I think this is where the market is going, because a lot of our sign shops are starting to struggle and no one knows why. And my wife found this, and he told me this whole story, yada, yada, yada. And he was right. The cricket came out of nowhere and completely obliterated the at-home, if you will, decal companies that were basically filling orders. And we started selling direct. I already knew at the time it was Craig Campbell at Orful, if you guys don't know. And I was like, Craig, what can we do? How can I start carrying this stuff? Like, start selling direct? Because you can't just become a distributor with Orful. It doesn't work like that. And he walked us through the steps of doing it and finding one thing, finding another thing, and just adding over the years. And that's where we are now.
So you started off with the cutter itself, really?
You mean selling the cutter?
Yeah.
No, we didn't actually sell the cutter. We were making products and selling them. And
but you had heard people were using this machine.
Exactly,
I understand. Okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you need to look at this machine. I was like, what do you mean? I mean, how could a home-based business, you know, you don't think about that until you're literally infected. It's literally an infection.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because you can't beg people to buy stuff they don't need.
Sure.
It's not toilet paper. It's not, you know, food. It's something that it's a decor item. It's a one transactional thing, and then you don't see the customer again, where now we see our customers 10, 20 times a year.
Right.
Repetitive business, constantly helping them. And it's very different.
Yeah. I started, obviously, like most people, started with Cricut, and I just liked the platform that they offered at the time. Like when we started 5 years ago or 6 years ago, when my wife and I started, it was like, you buy this machine, you have a super user-friendly platform, you can do your home decals, because that's what everybody starts out with. You do decals first, maybe some signs, and then, you know, you migrate your business into whether t-shirts or painted signs. And like the big thing now is those welcome porch signs. They're like the little 6 by whatever 8.
My neighbors has one.
We sell the hell out of those things.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, 100%. We make a ton of them. But it was a user-friendly platform, and I think that's what offered folks like myself a way in, because it was at a great price point at the time as well. So I mean, I definitely owe a lot to our business early on in the inception of our business, to that platform and that product. And then it became like, I found out about Siser, and then I found out about, you know, obviously Orful, and the 651 was like a big thing that we used as well. Then we used some of the permanent vinyl, and the removable vinyl that we offer here is paint stencil. Okay. You know, and that was like a huge game changer for us too. So like now we don't even, I feel like what we originally intended to use the product for, and the decal, now we don't even use it for. I use it as all stencil, and I feel bad because I buy a bunch of it and then I throw it away. It's, so.
But you create a great product with it though. So
yes. Yeah. And that's how we created our brand. So talk about the thought process initially of just, you know, getting into starting a business. I mean, it's a scary thing. Scary thing to think about, well, how do I start? How do I, you know, obviously you have some knowledge, and there's some people pushing you in different directions to say, like, you know, you should try this, or you should try this.
There's so many pieces.
Yeah.
You mean like?
But the initial thought process of like, hey, I want to start a business. You know, I can make something out of this. So even further back into the history.
I mean, CraftHTV wasn't my first business.
Right.
Everything I've ever done, I've sold and been able to walk away from on the out and decalify where we were being shut down basically out of force. Was the first time I was like, I don't understand. Like, there was no real way out of it. And I don't believe in giving up. So instead of going bankrupt and just quitting and saying, you know, oh well, we had to pivot to a different direction.
Right.
I don't really remember. There's not a lot of memory with decalify, just because a lot of stuff happened really quickly. I mean, we were manufacturing 1,000 decals a day in less than a year, and
that's a ton.
It's insane the amount of stuff we did. And when we transitioned to crafting, it was so hard because you don't understand why is this so much easier and we're making so much more money?
Right.
We're not doing anything.
Sure.
And like, I look at people, I'm like, I don't know why everyone's not just a distributor, but I mean, obviously everyone can't be. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have no fear when it comes to business. I don't remember Like, what can I not do?
Right. Well, that's
how
the,
can I
that's
do
the
it?
key. That's the key, and that's something that we've talked about in other episodes. Is like everybody has an initial fear of, okay, is this going to work? Right. You come up with it. You come up with this concept. Even what you're doing right now in your marketing, right?
Yeah.
Your marketing has shown that what you can do, or what you can really do with your product, and what you can do with video people and other content creators and influencers attached to your brand. But at the same time, there's a scary tactic or a scary element to that where you're like, is this going to work?
Yeah,
You know, and
exactly.
you have to kind of walk away from that. But what we talk about is the initial fear for people to let it go and just get into it. It doesn't matter. You're going to fail, 1,000 out of, you might bat 0, but there's going to be a point where you start getting better, start learning more, get into a different avenue or a different lane that you didn't think about. And that's why even crafting for people isn't necessarily always the answer. Maybe somebody can't figure out that cutter, and we talked to Rudy on previous episodes. It's like, I couldn't figure out the cutter. That wasn't my thing. Screen print, though, I know screen print. So it's just, I think that's what we try to talk to a lot of people about. Just getting over that initial fear of wanting to start a business.
I mean, it's amazing how many Cricut people don't even open the box.
Right.
They literally shoot
yeah.
the box, and I'm like,
Yep.
you paid $200 and you live in the box? I've had it out of the box before I get home.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? That's
Right.
crazy.
Right.
So you started. Were you guys doing custom decals?
We were not. So, contradictory to now, I did not approve of any sort of short runs.
Okay.
I wanted stuff, SKUs with Amazon, SKUs with top header. We had a good 25 top sellers, and then we would just kind of transition between seasons and holidays. So, like, we'd have like 2 Easter ones that would come out, 2 Christmas, 3,
Okay.
whatever. And then we'd have the same generic decals. Everybody has mom, hopefully. Everyone has grandparents.
Yep.
Everyone has, the very generic family this, loving
Yeah.
that. And those sold really well.
Yep.
And this is all, I mean, if you predate Cricut, you predate home decor, this is when people wanted to be able to move from place to place to place. The economy wasn't great, so people were losing their homes. They were living in apartments. Decals and the simpler the decor stuff was really, really popular.
Sure. What year
and-
was this?
Our decal business was 2011, 12, and 13.
Okay.
And then 14 started to decrease, and then we transitioned to crafting in 14.
Okay.
So yeah, it was much easier to sell decal then. Now it's more custom. Obviously, Cricut is everything is custom.
Sure.
It's more permanent. It's people are finding ways to create signage. It's not the same as it was then.
Right.
It's much more evolved now. in fact.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like people are pushing the limits to these things too, as much as they possibly
Yes, they
can,
are.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But that also speaks volumes to the marketing of folks like Cricut, like yourselves. I mean, you just did a live. For folks that don't know, if you saw Lucas's live and Dalton's live from our studio, that's like a week or so or 2 weeks before this came out.
Yeah.
So, but you guys just did a live.
Yeah.
But you're doing them everywhere. I mean, I've seen you at a restaurant. You guys will hop on a live just to talk to customers. So talk about that marketing element, because that's also scary in itself too for I think a lot of people. And we talked about this, previously when we were out just kind of sitting around, and I had you. Just sitting in a chair for 4 hours, and I apologize. I did that because Dalton said, "Don't say sorry."
Oh,
Yeah, he
just
says
so
sorry
we're
too
on
many
the
times.
same
He says sorry too often.
No, but talk about that. How you get into this live platform and why utilizing social media has been so beneficial for you guys.
I mean, I don't know if there is anything particular about why we choose live.
Mhm.
It's the direct interaction.
Yeah.
Because specifically during 2020, people have been in a situation where they're kind of isolated.
Yeah.
So they're more interactive when it comes to, identify when people come online. Hey, Cindy, how are you doing? She doesn't even know I know who she
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
You identify
But
that
it makes
person.
her day. It makes her
Right.
day.
She's
It gives
they-
like a sense of community.
They know me. How do they know me?
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
she subscribes. She watches. She,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Cindy or not, but she's there every time.
Mhm.
And if you connect with them, hey, you know what? Send us a photo of your dog. Now we
Yeah.
care about your animal. These animals are the most important thing to most people.
They send us
Right.
dog pictures all the time, pet pictures all
Yes.
the time.
Like,
Right, and when it becomes like normalcy for them. I think a lot of times
Yeah.
we get that as well in lives. It's like they become a part of your tribe. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
or your family in a sense. Because I do see a lot of times, like I'll watch the lives and you'll be talking to X, Y, and Z person, and you're just talking about something you guys had a conversation about weeks ago.
Yeah.
And to them that makes them feel good, and doesn't necessarily mean that they're right down the road from you either. It might be something that they could be hundreds of miles away, but you've given them a little bit of something to hold on to, especially right now.
Yeah.
How has obviously we're in COVID right now, and everybody's in quarantine and different stuff. How's that affected you guys as a business?
It's actually like
That's what I was
skyrocketed our
gonna
business.
say. That's it for us.
This
It's
is
been the
super,
same.
super terrible. It's not a boast, but
Mhm.
we were very fortunate. We, just like everyone else, we shifted down really quickly, and there was about 9 days where I was prepared to close and ready to go, and I did not identify myself as an essential business. I did not understand what that meant.
Yeah,
sure.
The government's terms, and being in the sign industry, you're essential.
Yeah.
And because signage and things have to be produced, our customers are not really doing that, but we do supply the Border Patrol. We do supply state agencies that do stuff with our material. And we became essential. And other competitors maybe weren't so lucky. Their states had different guidelines. One of our largest competitors had to close, and they take up a big chunk of the market. And unfortunately, we scaled up from 8 people in Dallas, closed our Michigan store. We had over 100 people in our Dallas location.
Wow.
In just 6 weeks.
Wow.
And it was madness.
Wow.
Did you have people move down? Oh, okay.
No.
So it was just people
close
that
the store.
just close it down.
It was very unfortunate, but I mean, safety first,
Yeah.
follow the law, and it was amazing to watch a community of people, because they're all, the funny thing is they're all competitors.
Yeah.
And they're all so nice to each other. I'm like, this is why I'm nice to everyone. I'm like, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, of course.
And we just like skyrocketed. And I was like, okay, every day I work 12, 14 hours a
Which
day.
is interesting that you mentioned that, because being in Michigan and in Texas at the same time, those two, sets of rules, especially when all
Polar
this went down,
opposites.
complete
Oh, yeah.
polar
Yeah,
opposites.
absolutely.
So you have to make those decisions as a Michigan business owner, but then as a Texas business owner. So what makes it different? I mean, obviously you were able to scale up one and unfortunately had to shut one down, but what goes into that decision making?
Well, the closing of Michigan was solely based on our supply chain. Most people know that we partner with GSG, and in Michigan, they have to truck the materials from their Cincinnati location.
Yeah.
They weren't able to do that because Ohio had restrictions based on Department of Transportation regulations, how far truckers could drive, if they crossed, and the testing. And so GSG actually couldn't get product to our store. They could, of course, but it would take longer. It wasn't logistically friendly. So we kept Texas open because our store there is directly across the street from their location.
Gotcha.
Sure.
And they could pull their resources into one like
Yeah.
we were, and then stand together, and it actually worked really well for both of us.
Or just worst case scenario, you walk across the street and say, "Hey, I need something."
Oh no, we do that all the time.
We do actually quite probably. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I love it. I'm here.
Yeah, hi.
Right here.
We can heat press right now.
You just got to get walkie-talkies first.
That's right.
Then you don't have to go outside. You're good. You're good.
They're great.
Yeah, I want to talk. I want to talk obviously to you a little bit too, Dalton. Is that because you're making a name for yourself, obviously on the CraftHTV, but I think what goes along with that as well is obviously putting yourself out there and being just an influencer. I consider anybody that's in lives or in our social platforms, you know what I mean? They're all influencers.
Right.
So was that something that you were doing previously?
No, so I never in a million years thought I'd be
Yeah.
selling plastic and vinyl and stuff. My mom did it in high school. When I was in high school,
Yeah.
she sold the mums and garters and had the club, and I never really knew the understanding behind it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But she had that her sense of community, and that was what she did. Right.
Right.
That's how she became popular in her hometown. But no, I was working at a bar in the height of the COVID shutdown, and got shut down. No money. I'm like, hey, what's out there?
Yeah.
And then Lucas hit me up. He goes, hey, I'm hiring. Come do this.
Yeah.
And been there ever since. So I'm learning along the way. I have
Yeah.
no idea what I'm doing 95% of the time. What helps me along is the
Yeah.
crafters online. They'll comment, hey, you're doing this wrong, or do this,
Yeah.
or do this. Like, I will completely be off the wall and not knowing what I'm doing on
Yeah.
camera.
Sure.
And they're correcting me on camera. So I'm following their cues, and he's helping me out. So
Sure. So there's two
catching
things
it.
to that. One, I've always said that the way to learn in this industry is just to fast track, because there's
You're
so
right.
many
Just jump
products
in.
out there.
Yeah.
There's so many different pieces of equipment and
Yeah.
technologies and all of these different things. There's no other way to learn other than to learn on the fly. And number two, we've talked about this before, but there's a large sense of camaraderie in this community, especially when you guys are talking about lives and stuff like that. To me, that makes your job easier.
Yeah, it really
when
does.
Cindy's on there and you can relate to her, and she's on there every time.
Yeah.
You may be nervous on camera or something, so you can relate to her, and for them to give you that advice on the fly, I think is really cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So now, were you at the bar and you just found Dalton and said that he's got a super personality?
Can I tell you how it happened?
Yeah. Let's
So
see.
how-
I want to know
I
how
love
this
the
happened.
truth.
So how it happened? How it happened?
First of all, he's an asshole.
So I was bartending, and Lucas was there with some previous employees of Craft
Yeah.
HTV, and so I thought they were all hitting on me, and so I have a bar name. I go by Tyler.
Okay.
And so my name's Dalton. I go by Tyler at the bar. So people don't find me and hit me
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
all creeps, right? You
Fair
ever go to a
enough.
gay bar? They're creeps. Okay. so they asked what my name was, and I said, hey, I'm Tyler.
Yeah.
And so the next day they go back to order more drinks, and Lucas is like, hey, can Tyler make my drink? And they're like, there's no Tyler here.
Oh,
And so they just made us put our Instagram name on the wall, and so
Yeah.
he then found me on
Okay.
Instagram.
Nice.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's how we
Because I
met.
wanted to call his ass out. But, why did you not?
Liar.
That's the only original
So,
attention.
Because if you get Lucas, if you get him, he's pissed and he's like, okay, that's a challenge,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
you get his attention. It's kind of funny. But if you're just nice to him, you get blown
The
over.
problem is, so in Dallas, they didn't really know who I was. I came from San Diego. Gay San Diego is not the same as gay Texas. San Diego, we're all very close friends. We're all super nice. Yeah, there's the bitchy one every now and then, but at Dallas, there's actually they call it the Dallas too. There's actually like a personality to like,
Really?
and it kind of melds a little bit with the gays where they are scared to let people in. They're scared to like have new friends, and like I'm just naturally nice. I don't have to care. Like I just want my liquor and a chair.
Yeah, that's it. And I'll tip you. That's
Literally.
it.
Yeah.
And Tyler
Maybe I'll
Dalton,
give you a
whoever
job,
he
too.
is.
Yeah.
That's
So
fun.
it was funny that he did that, and then of course, I'm sorry I'm not hitting on you. I just was like trying to find you because
Yeah.
I like to.
But I was
spend
playing it safe.
Yeah.
I'm Tyler. I'm Tyler, girl.
I'm
What's
Lucas,
that?
nice to meet you.
In the episode, we gotta make sure we put in the description Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put Lucas and Tyler. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
It was good.
So forever
actually-
bar, and I go by. I say my name's Tyler. Go with it.
Okay.
Go
So
with it.
actually, before we walked in this room, Lucas told us that Tyler Dalton was formerly in the service.
Oh yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
thank
was
you
in-
for your service,
thank
by
you,
the way.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
8 years.
Yeah, I
8
got
years.
I got super excited too because I went to school. We've talked about it in previous episodes. I think it was with Steve Jackson that we were talking about it. I went to school to be an EMT paramedic. I went to go get my fire 1 and 2, and then the original intention was to be a public safety officer. So I just had the option to go, public or private. And
Nice.
then I came up with this concept. My brother spent 13 years enlisted, and I decided, hey, I wanted to go to the military. I lost like 100 pounds in like 6 months because when I went to tape, they were like, "Nah, you're too fat, dude.
Oh yeah. So
You're
you
way
busted
too
it.
fat. You got to do." So I came back every 2 weeks to tape, and then right when I was able to sign on the dotted line and commit, I had this conversation with my wife. My girlfriend at the time was my wife now, and she's basically like, "Just look me up when you get back, and we'll figure it out."
There you go.
And I just didn't want to take that chance. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I got to work as a medic for a couple of years. But you were literally like my you got to live my dream. You're a combat medic.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
So that's awesome. So how many did you do? Did you go overseas?
Yeah, so
or-
I toured. I went to Iraq, Syria,
Okay.
Afghanistan, Kuwait,
Okay.
Germany a little bit, Ireland a little bit.
Germany's probably fun.
It was a layover.
Oh, really?
It was like a 3-day layover. It was a 3-day
Still fun.
layover.
It was a layover. It's
I
great.
drank the whole time.
Still fun.
I barely remember it.
Yeah.
But the DD-214 says Germany.
That's it.
So I'm
That's all
gonna
that
call
matters.
Germany.
That's all. That
But
matters.
did that a little bit. I'm on my last couple months of IRR, which is like National Guard. Once you're back, you do your first contract. You have 2 years just to chill, keep your license open, your health up to date, all the good stuff in case they call you back for deployment or something.
Okay.
But so I revisit that contract in January to re-sign or get out.
Okay.
But yeah. But I mean, I'm a paramedic now also. But I make way more money doing this. I never saw myself doing anything other than medical.
Right, right.
Until I met Lucas. He's like, hey, you can make so much money doing this.
Right.
Have you ever
Yeah.
thought about it?
Well, and the interesting
have.
thing too is two worlds that we share, and the funny thing in public health in general, but emergency medicine, whether you're public or private,
Right.
and just in any state that you work, I mean, it's such a tight knit community, like where you're at now, just kind of like our industry. Everybody kind of gets to know everybody, whether you're police, fire, EMS, whatever, and the only difference is that unfortunately for those people financially, it's just not fit.
It's not.
Just it's the thing that you either will burn out, or if you want to be a lifer and you want to be like a critical care medic,
Right.
that's where the money is, or you have to go into other avenues, or you have to get other specialties, and it's
Yeah.
so it's one of those things that it was unfortunate. That was a good job. That was a job I loved. I loved
Right.
doing it, but also too, I had a couple
Right.
incidences at there too. So you lose a
Right.
couple people, you realize really quick.
I get it.
But being a combat medic, that's kind of the MO.
I get it, dude. That was one of the best jobs ever.
Yeah,
One of the best
it's fun.
jobs ever. Yeah.
It's fun, and you get to just sit in a truck. You get to do what you two are doing right now, just for like 12 hours. Saying, I'll be like,
Well,
we
I
gotta
don't know. Maybe civilian was.
Yeah, civilian. Yeah, civilian. Yeah.
Why don't we talk about his experiences
Yeah, no,
versus
for
what you're
real.
assuming that they think
For
you
real.
do?
Yeah, right. For real.
I mean, I'm sure you saw some interesting
Yes,
stuff.
you spent
Oh,
eight
yeah.
years in.
I did. I've seen a lot, but I don't know. It was fun getting out too.
Yeah.
What made
I appreciate
What
it.
made you enlist?
So I enlisted when I was about a year after high school. So
Okay.
I was like 19.
Yeah.
Had no education, didn't know what I wanted to do, no money. I was like, hey, I'm gonna either get in trouble or something. I need to find some discipline, some structure.
Sure.
And so I did. So I joined the Army.
Nice.
That's good.
So I went
Kudos.
to boot camp in St. Louis, Missouri. No, what was it Fort Linwood, Missouri?
Okay.
Horrible place. Don't ever go. Don't ever go to Missouri.
I had said Ohio stinks earlier, so don't
Missouri,
feel bad.
Missouri is horrible. Did that. Did my AIT, my job training in San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
Nice.
went from there. I did the Texas border Mexico mission, where whenever Obama said the illegals can come over, and then Rick Perry was like, no, you can't. So he sent us down there to like kind of like not capture them, like see what they're doing,
Yeah,
and, like
yeah.
medical screen them, and like
Wow.
did that, and then a couple years later got my medic, and then got deployed.
Wow. So Army, bar,
Army,
CraftHTV.
Yeah.
bar,
what the-
CraftHTV.
Plastic.
Classic.
Dalton, Tyler.
Dude,
There's probably
Oh, that's
a ton
cool.
of
I mean,
them.
you've definitely
write
got
a
a
book.
story.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's what I was saying. Write a book.
I'll write a
That's
book.
awesome. So now that you're in this space, though, I mean, what are some of the things that you've been, whether you're happy that you've fell into this, because obviously you seem very happy with what you're doing. You get to travel, you get to be on live.
it's never boring. It's always
That's
it's
what I was
mostly.
gonna ask.
I would say right now it's like 70-30. You know, I guess after the 25 days it's gonna die back down a little bit until spring or something.
Yeah.
But
That's cute.
I don't know. Our video wise, I don't know.
No.
See, I don't
No.
know. I know I don't have a calendar and plan things because I don't know.
That's
Sure.
a good. That's a good.
you know what
way
I'm
to be,
saying?
though.
I didn't know we were gonna go this week or last week, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no schedule.
My bag's packed. You let me know.
Right.
When to get to the
you
airport.
have to stay ready.
Yeah.
Stay
When you're
ready.
with Lucas, you have to stay ready because he'll give you an hour before the flight
Yeah.
takes off.
There
It
you
was
go.
awesome on the live.
We did that. We did-
on the live today. I don't know if you were here right when they were getting ready to set up, and he goes, "Are we doing a demonstration?" Luke's is like, "No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this, this, and this." And then they get in the live and they fired it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, sometimes that's the best way you do things. I
That's
mean,
what
we
I'm
didn't
saying.
prep before this podcast. We're just having a conversation.
I like this style better, actually. Just to kind of shout out everybody that's helped with production wise and stuff, and setting this room up. I actually like this setup better. Do you guys like this?
Yeah, it's
You
chill.
said it was very
It's
small in here, which made me
The
self-conscious.
thing is,
Well, it is small in here when
I
you look at it on the video.
I have watched this before,
Mhm.
and I thought it was a gigantic desk, from 1995. I thought it was a huge office.
like a
Oh,
new
it
studio.
was. It was just,
But
yeah.
it's
that
in
production
this
table
room.
was one of them,
Like
yeah.
when I watched the Mallory one, and I know Jason was like next to her, right?
Mhm.
It felt like there was tons of space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there really wasn't.
So there was these two. No, yeah, we had these two chairs on that side,
Mm-hmm.
and basically one of these chairs were completely butt up against that wall over there. So it was really really tight.
It looks a lot bigger on screen than it is in
yeah.
here.
I mean, most
So-
sets do, but still, I didn't. I saw
Yeah.
this room and I was like, wow, they moved the walls.
Yeah.
talk about, because you had mentioned for the 25 days of giveaways that you were doing. Talk about the setup for that, because I think it's super important for anybody that's looking to get into doing Facebook Lives, and like even for me myself, for my wife's business, I was like, I should just go live one day while I'm crafting on it. I make so many signs, so many different things. It wouldn't be a bad deal, but the preparation for me has always been super complicated. Of like,
You like the technology?
not necessarily technology, but when you're preparing for this, you got to get together all the giveaways, got to coordinate, how you're going to actually do your live, or how you're going to present your product, and then you got to be able to execute at the end. Talk about like the
Well, you got to prep material too first, right?
Well,
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah, prep
Yeah,
material.
so
Well, I
this
think that
year-
one of the biggest thing is having a crew like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate, who is
Yeah.
proactive.
Yeah.
Like he's always like 2-3 steps ahead of everything
Sure.
that we do. Or
It
me.
gets frustrating sometimes, but perfect also. Now this year, so
This episode of the Decor8 podcast is brought to you by Siser North America. Siser is the world leader in heat transfer and pressure sensitive vinyl, and I gotta say, guys, that Siser products are simply unmatched. If you want to find out more about Siser North America, simply go into your browser and type in www.caesarna.com or download the mobile app. They got a mobile app, dude. Download the mobile app, hit the drop-down menu, hit Find a Distributor, so you can find out where you can find Siser products. All right, cool.
So I want to get back to you said you had 100 people down north of Dallas.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research on your guys' website. Drive-thru vinyl. Where was that concept?
my God.
How did that come up with?
how did that come? I'm so it's okay.
And how is it? And how's it going?
I
Is
love
it
every
still
time
going?
he asks you a question, he's like,
Okay.
You're
So
So wait, what is Drive to Vinyl?
we don't do it anymore.
Okay.
We wanted to supply the people that wanted the vinyl as quickly as possible. There really is no reason for people to come in the store.
Sure.
You know what you're buying.
Yeah.
It's like groceries. You get the same stuff every time.
Right.
You
Right.
buy 1 or 2 new things.
Right.
You get the same stuff. But some people don't want to have it shipped. Some people are poor planning. Some people don't plan at all.
They get an order last night, and
Yeah,
they got to fulfill it.
Hurry,
Yeah.
hurry, you know. And so
Some people just want to see the product
Yes.
too.
Yeah, see
They
it,
wanna
feel it.
see it.
Absolutely.
Vinyl
Smell
dri-
it. A lot of people smell it around here.
Brett's a smeller.
Do they really?
He thinks he can find the origin of vinyl if he smells it.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, it's a chemical. Never mind.
Yeah,
Anyways.
That's disgusting. Good for him, and also no.
Yeah, right.
So vinyldrive-thru.com was a way for us to get people to go to the instructional page and say, hey, look at how we want you to do this, and please don't break our rules, because I don't want to be the monster, but if you break the rules, now it's unsafe. Now please don't shop here.
Sure.
You know, you can only shop online.
You can impact everybody.
Yes,
At that point.
and it allowed us to, formulate a process where it was uniform on both the consumer side and internally. We knew how it was going to operate. It wasn't actually set up like McDonald's. It
Sure.
was parking spots, curbside, spot 1, spot 2. Place your order, you called the number, we brought your order out. But when you're developing structure for consumers, Americans specifically, you have to have it laid out perfectly.
Yeah.
And the first step is good marketing. So vinyldrive-thru.com is very simple because all Americans use drive-thru
Yeah.
Right.
for one way or another.
Yeah.
And it's funny you found that. We don't use that particular marketing anymore. We should, because we still do curbside. But that was just like a way, like, all right, on the fly, let's find a way to direct them how we want them to go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Without like fighting with people.
So, okay, let me try that again.
Yeah.
Something that you may, and I know that
Lots of
you guys are
areas.
using this. Talk about this new forum.
Forums. Ooh.
So I just saw that you guys just put that out there,
Yeah.
and it's unique, I think, to our
Nobody has
industry. I haven't seen it on
Yeah.
other people's websites. Obviously there's Reddit, there's stuff like that out there,
Yeah.
but I think it's unique to have it on your own website and hosted by you guys.
So we have a secret weapon, which most of our competitors know. The good competitors know because I'm open with everybody. His name is Brian. He is married to my mom's sister, and his let's say passion in life is he's a software engineer.
Okay.
And he actually engineers everything on our website except for the technical code behind the website. He doesn't do HTML. All of our internal software, we have a lot of automated systems in our business. Somebody buys something, it automatically prints out, goes right to picking. Nobody has to be involved with it.
Right.
He said, I've been doing research. This is just a few weeks ago. I've been doing research, and I noticed there's something none of our competitors do, and I don't know why. And I said, what? And he said, a forum.
Yep.
I was like, ooh, that's very 1990s.
That's what I was going to say.
He's
It's
like,
an
but
old
at the same
tactic.
time,
I
all
think
those
it's cool.
free keywords, all the free posts, everything is open. It's a community. We don't want to remove people from Facebook or social media because that's impossible. But also, it's a way to keep the information together because one of the faults of Facebook groups is you could have a course or teach them about adhesive vinyl, but then it gets lost in the post.
Gets buried, yeah.
There's no way to control it. And he said, let's control it.
You can host it on there
Yeah,
and
makes
keep
sense.
it there and
And also-
organize and
And it's free. It
Yeah.
costs us
Yeah.
nothing. He built
Yep.
it in a couple days, and 285,000 people will use it.
wow.
Really.
Crazy.
That's nothing.
That's crazy.
And it costs us literally nothing.
Yeah.
He's kind of
you
like
know?
a wizard.
He's a
Brian.
wizard.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's really cool. I think it's
Yeah.
really unique, and I hope people more people start to engage and
Yeah.
get into it. You
Yeah, I was
should
going to
check
say,
it out.
through that engagement, what have you already picked up on? Not necessarily if there's any secrets in there that you don't want to give away that you're trying to develop.
oh, listen, this is
It just
we're
it was like
commodities.
7 days I
Yeah.
saw was the
Yeah.
first post.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
literally a week
There's
ago.
no secrets here.
Yeah.
Vinyl forum, literally 97. I think of like flashback to Bill Gates when he was
Yeah.
young.
Yeah.
This is not.
No.
Right now, it's still new. It's a process for us to find a way to bring people together because, unfortunately, crafters all have the same problem. They don't open the machine. They
Yeah.
don't know the difference between adhesive and HTV.
Yeah.
They don't know what transfer tape is, what TTD is. They don't.
Yeah.
These are all the same, correlated issues. And we were actually, there's a company called Acton, I think is what it's called. We were looking a way to funnel the consumer through how-tos. Once you sign up, we tell you how to do this, what to buy, how to do this, what to buy. And that was very expensive because it's automated. But they don't really want that. They want to kind of walk their way through themselves, and that's
Yeah.
where the forum came in. It wasn't my idea. I do not take credit for it. He said, let's do it. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
And
try
now
it.
it'll be a new task for someone really fun to me to do.
And that's how I learned my assignments.
He can learn.
Just like that.
Well, I mean,
He can learn with them.
even to your point, though, the different verbiage in the industry, we could call it adhesive, we could
Yes.
call it decal, we could call it sticker material.
Yes.
It's everybody's got a different ideology of what this is, and for you guys to be able to control that within your business is important. And I think if you get that message out there through the forums or through your lives and stuff like that, that way the consumer knows, okay, when I'm looking at adhesive, this is what this is, and this is what I should expect. So,
The biggest thing for me is that again, being a commodities industry, there's no way to stop a person from shopping somewhere else.
No.
I don't buy my gasoline from the same company.
Right.
I don't buy my vodka, my bread.
Right.
But
You could grocery shop at a different store if you had to,
you have
right?
to community this in a bubble that makes it impossible to go somewhere else. They're on our website. The form is integrated to our website. They
Right.
don't leave the website.
Right.
They stay there. Facebook, you're leaving our website. It's outside control. You could get distracted. You could watch a video that's
Sure.
nothing to do with vinyl. And our website, you're stuck. You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's
it's-
no rabbit hole to get
Exactly.
lost in.
There's
right?
no like, hey, over there.
Yeah.
No, 'cause
Yeah.
over there's vinyl. What's
Right.
over there? Vinyl.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of thinking about how that all plays out. Because you're right, Facebook, I mean, just in any algorithm on social, it's going to push you in 9 different directions because it
Yes.
wants to give you options.
Yes.
But you're giving the option of me. I'm the only option the entire time.
And that's what they want. That's why
Yeah.
when we go on live, we have 100 people in 30 seconds because people want to watch us.
Yeah.
Right.
What
So whenever
is this?
whenever we talk to our customers, we don't do it like in a very corporate way.
Yeah.
We're like, hey girl, what's up? What do you need?
Yeah.
We're very like personal with our
Yeah.
people.
So even your customer service wise, when somebody calls up, it's like
Yeah, our customer
What's up,
experience
bro?
team.
That's-
Yeah,
that's what
it's
I was
all
saying.
it's all like, hey, what's going on? You need
That's
something?
good.
Yeah.
that's a good way to be. I think sometimes you can get a little rigid.
Mhm.
You know, not to say that any customer service in particular. It's just I feel like sometimes customer service can be a kind of a rigid thing because all you're doing is fielding calls. 90% of the time, you're just getting angry calls.
It's a
from
thankless
people,
job.
or it's-
It really
yes,
is.
yes. Exactly. So adding that personal touch and your personality on top of it makes it easier for the person to digest. And I always equate it back to like in a retail space. You know, nobody's going into Walmart for a return and asking for the cashier they bought it from. They're asking for the assistant manager or the upfront manager, whoever runs the front, right?
Yeah.
So, but if that person, was able to approach him in a way of, basically you're my best friend every time, and feeling that, actually having that emotion behind it, not just making it fake for the transaction. I mean, it's one of those things that I could go up to the same person every time. Be like, hey, I'm going to buy from this person. I know their schedule. I want to, know.
If you've seen on our Facebook Lives, like we drop our personal phone numbers on the Facebook Live several times. So
I
they
do
call
like
us
that
up.
for
They
that,
call us
yeah.
up 2 in
Yeah,
the morning.
but I say
2 in the morning. Don't abuse it.
I will
'cause
block
I'll block
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
You
mean,
can
they'll
call me
call
all
us
you want,
personally for
but I'll
like
block
help.
you.
You
Yeah.
know, they'll call us personally for
I-
help. So we'll text
when
back.
I used to sell equipment, and I would give my personal number out, and I would give the customers a caveat. I'd say, listen, you have 911. You break it, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be, a couple of beers in around a campfire. I'll still answer that 911.
Exactly.
But if it's something that I taught you that you could have fixed, or you could have looked on a forum or something like that, you lost it.
Yeah.
Lost that privilege. So.
It always makes me feel bad when somebody calls me for something that's so blatantly easy, but it's like maybe in the perspective that they're sitting or the box that they're in right now, they can't figure out what just happened or what's going on. And
There's a
I'm
lot of
just,
things
like,
going on, yeah.
Quietly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go
Okay,
to this real quick.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm also at a bar, so don't
Yeah.
mind the music.
Yeah. But that also goes back to you taking the opportunity, taking the time to do that. We'll keep that person for life.
Correct, yeah.
They're drawn in and they're not going anywhere else
Yeah.
because they know that you're going to take care of them. Now, abusing it at 2:00 in the morning is a little bit different.
That's what a
But-
911 is.
I mean, that
Past
doesn't-
work hours.
I was
at
in the
2
mortgage
morning.
industry. Every call's a 911. Every single call's a 911.
Were you in the mortgage industry?
I was in the mortgage industry.
I didn't know that.
I had a podcast before. We don't have to talk about
so
everything.
boring.
Okay.
I hate that for you.
It's
very boring.
definitely a blood sucking job.
Yes.
So, what is the future of CraftHTV? What's the future of the marketing? Obviously, now you have an influencer with you, and you guys got this great duo going on where people are recognized, and anybody there. I mean, I see. It's funny. I watch a Facebook Live of Lucas, and he's just doing orders. Like he's just here in Michigan a few weeks ago. He's literally just processing
fine.
orders. Like it doesn't matter. But it also is like that. I call it I'm going to call it something. It's the undercover boss theory that I have is like you are a lot like Yohan, and the fact that, and Brett as well, that you'll dive into whatever your employee is doing. It doesn't matter if you're my employee. You're also my friend, but I'm also not going to throw you in the trenches of something I've never done or haven't at least attempted. And if I don't know how to do it and you know how to perfect it, I stay out of your way.
Nobody will learn something before I do.
Right.
Never.
Right.
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
and I feel like you can almost get pigeonholed that way.
Is that wrong?
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
I think you're a little narcissist.
No.
You have to lead by
girl.
example,
Yeah,
and
you
I think
can't.
that
Yeah.
if you don't know
Always
if you don't know one single process in your whole business model,
Correct.
it's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the future holds specifically, but I do know from a marketing standpoint, I've recently figured out personally that there is no top. I said for a couple years with CraftHTV that
Zero
I feel like
ceiling,
I've gotten to a climax. I feel like I'm at the top. There's nowhere further to go, and it took me a little bit of time to figure out that there's no such thing as the top.
Yeah.
I have nobody to answer to. We have no partners. It is
Yeah.
me, myself, and I.
So it's got to be freeing, though. It's got to be a freeing feeling that, I mean, it's obviously your money, right, at the end of the day, but it's got to be a kind of a freeing feeling to be like, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about what somebody thinks about our marketing.
I think I know exactly when you had this epiphany.
Oh, do you?
I think I do. So it was a couple weeks, no, about a month ago. I think it was a Monday morning. You had gone out Sunday night, and you called or you texted me, Indiana. You said, remind me in the morning to talk to you or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You get in the morning, guys, I had an epiphany last night.
I did.
There is no top of the mountain or
Yeah.
whatever. There is no top of the mountain.
No ceiling.
Was
No
this
ceiling.
was this the Powder Wig Live? Is that the morning of that?
That was before.
That was
Okay.
Before that.
Because
Powder
that's
Wig Live, what's
was
that?
it? Where do you get the powder?
the
you
fairy
guys
tale
did
wig.
Oh,
yeah.
way after that.
Yeah.
That was
What
after
did you
that.
call
That
it?
was so
The
funny.
powder wig.
The powder wig live.
Actually,
Have you
everything
seen
comes-
that?
corsets,
Have
right?
you
Do you
seen
have the
this?
photos on your phone? We can talk about this. We can talk about this. Oh, sorry. We can
You're
talk about
good.
this because it's coming out
Check it out.
after our first tile teasers. We can show you the photos. We just won't be able to put them on the video.
That's right.
So part of the marketing or the, let's say, no ceiling. Fairy Tale's going through its 5th year anniversary,
That's
and
awesome.
I am
Congratulations, by the way.
absolutely ridiculously bored with because it's fun. I mean, listen, plastic is so
There's
fun.
not do that.
But we might have gone a little over the
Have you seen
top.
those?
Oh, that's powder wig.
For anybody that can't see this, sorry, I'm touching your phone here with
You're
COVID
good.
out there. For anybody that can't
That
see this,
is
I'm not going to reveal what
hilarious.
this is, but this is awesome.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
We went
Let's try it,
further.
right?
Speaking of the powdered wigs or the powder faces and wigs,
Yeah.
we went further and created an entire story around these
That's
5
awesome.
characters.
We have videos.
They
we
have
got
backstories.
all kinds. Like it was.
digital video.
Oh, so this is what the large
Instagram.
backdrop was from the other day. then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Literally,
It's a lot,
2 days
yeah.
ago, 3 days ago now.
But you're
Oh my
also
gosh.
you're also showing people too that like it doesn't matter what type of marketing you throw out
doesn't,
there. Like
yeah.
your product will sell. And I think that's also a fear.
Yes.
People fear. Oh my god.
You passed it to him too. That's cool.
Why?
Look,
Why
it's
was I
fine.
not invited? To
Look,
this?
it's fine.
Oh, we can do it again.
Yeah, let's go.
That is
That is
hilarious.
awesome.
So is this like a promotional?
So I found that some of the best commercials in the world. Let's talk about UPS for a second.
Yeah.
No shout out to them because they're awful usually, but
They're going through tough times like we all are. Let's
Sorry,
give them a break for
UPS
today.
does this thing. Even AT&T does
Mm-hmm.
it, where you are watching a commercial. These are my favorite marketings because I'm watching them and I'm like, ooh, which company is this? And you don't know until the last second.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Oh.
get your attention, they close your attention,
Yep.
and it's like, ooh, that's AT&T.
Yeah.
And you say it out, you say it to yourself because they have this feeling, this emotion, and then bam, they tell you that's AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, it was AT&T.
They got me.
It was. They got me.
They reeled
Yeah.
me in.
This is going to be more direct because we're obviously in it, but that's the direction our marketing is going.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that we're here. We're a lifestyle brand. I mean, you are buying our product. You touch us every day. You take us on vacation with you.
Yep.
You feed your children with us.
Yeah.
Literally, I didn't know how big it was until he told me. Like everything from the pop on the back of my phone to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
plane, everything has vinyl.
It is interesting because I'm a year and a half in this business too, so
Yeah.
that I got the same experience of like
It's insane.
the first trade show that I went to. I mean, I went to the I think it was DAX Toronto. It's in Toronto.
Ugh.
That was a smaller show though,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's no bigger than this room. But then going to like a Long Beach, it opens your eyes up to the world, and then you also realize how many people know each other, and everybody's
Yes.
so comfortable with each
Yes.
other. And I'm like, holy shit, this person does this, and this person, and then you get into this. Then you get to this this evolution where you're like, okay, I know where the shirts are manufactured.
Yeah.
Why at Walmart is it $1, and this place is selling it for
You start feeling the
$100?
transfers
And
at
you're like,
the
wait a
mall.
minute, I
and-
know that
oh, yeah.
material. Yeah, it's weird. It really is a weird transition in life for real.
Yeah, I'm going towards the marketing where you get the sense of it before it's actually actuality to
Yeah.
you. And it's the conceptualized, you look at it and you're like, what is this until it's right there? And that's the direction I'm going to go because saying go buy vinyl, I mean, we say buy vinyl at the end of every live, but I don't want to say that when I'm telling you a story about a kid that just learned how to tie her shoe.
Right.
She has Siser on her shoes. You can see the Siser on her shoes, but she's learning to tie her shoes. And then she's telling her mom, 95% of our customers are female women. I mean, they're
Yeah.
female moms.
Yeah.
Moms.
Yeah.
They're all female. They're all moms. So it's
women.
like they're going to resonate with that marketing. And then you're like, Siser,
Yeah.
we're on. I mean, literally, we go on vacation with you. You feed your
Yeah.
kids. I mean, these are
Yeah.
core things.
When I can look back, it's funny, and I know this is like super personal, but I can look back to times that like when we had our business, especially when we first had kids, like when I was really young, I had first kid at 21, got married at 21, right? So like when we started our business, there was times that like you didn't know how you're buying diapers. This is my EMT days. You didn't know if you're buying diapers that week, right? Because you didn't know if you could afford it. And then all of a sudden you get 2-3 orders in back to back to back. Yeah. And you're like, oh shit, this really does make a difference, right? Yeah. And not only for us, but it makes a difference for that person because that, you might be making T-shirts for a walkathon, right? But you don't realize that walkathon is for, aplastic like Peyton, you know what I mean, or custom color. You don't realize it until you get into the thick of it of how meaningful this industry really is to people. Yeah.
So what you just said about how you don't know where your diapers are coming from, we literally are now going to focus on that heavily because we want our customers to remember that and know that they don't need to worry about that. We're developing CraftHTV Cares where they can come to him directly and say, hey, I can't pay my electricity bill. Okay, let's figure this out.
Wow.
If you need groceries, let's figure it out.
I love that.
Because we don't want, there's no reason kids should be hungry. Right. I mean, I'm sorry, Americans do very bad at this.
Oh, yeah?
You have to work together. Yes, you'll come and you'll spend the money, and maybe our biggest 10 customers will pay for the 5 that need help, or those people will donate to save this person or this kid or whatever. And it's just that exposure. Perfect example is Ellen. She can only help so many people.
Right.
It's impossible, and we all need to do a little more for each other. So hopefully that does really well, but that lifestyle scares me a lot.
Yeah,
it's very kind of you. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, obviously, like I'm blessed to be in the position I am now. But like Chad and I got a chance when we went down to West Virginia a few months ago. You got a chance to kind of understand like my background and where I come from. So like for me, crafting is fun. And a lot of people at shows are like, oh, it's a guy that crafts, you know what I mean, or the dad that crafts. They put you in that kind of bubble, which is cool. It's a fun character to play anyway. Yeah. But it's like some of those people don't realize that there's times where you can't feed your family. Yeah. But you made the investment already early on that, I had a Cricut or I had some vinyl laying around. And I was like, okay, well, we'll make some decals and throw it out there and see if people want it. Or, you have a Facebook, throw a post that today is 10% off because I know I need to make money now. Right? And then now obviously I'm blessed to be in the position I am in and, don't have to worry about those anymore. But we're seeing that more and more where we're making those decals for people. And we just actually, Siser, we just sent over in Canada, there was just a small town of a few hundred people. And this lady said, hey, we had one of our oldest people in our town pass away from COVID. And that's the only case that we've had. Because I don't think people realize, like in Michigan, we've had a ton of cases. All across the U.S. has had a ton of cases. But there are little pockets where you might have 200 people in that town. One person passes away. That's, the small town feel, right? Everybody knows everybody. Yeah. Well, I sent her a 50-yard roll of white and black Easy Weed, and then some screen print company that was local to them donated like 1,200 shirts. Oh, wow. Well, she called me back, obviously in tears of how much that meant to her. And it's like you don't realize what you're doing at the time until you get that phone call. It might be 2 days later, it might be a month later, it might be a year later, and that person calls you and says, hey, I just want to let you know that small act of kindness that you did, exactly what you're looking to do now, that small act of kindness really paved the way for me or helped me, you know?
I mean, $50 could ruin someone's life, but $50 is not going to ruin mine. So, and that's just, that's not a luck of the draw. Right. I work nonstop around the clock, and we all do. You want to talk about Autumn, the 13-year-old girl? Oh, she's my favorite person.
Autumn, yeah.
Like bawling, crying.
Wait, am I going to cry?
No. Wait, which one? Autumn was.
Wait, what just happened?
It was horrible.
I just want to get you good. The kid, she called for her mom. She was
that
like,
one. Yes. Okay, so
can you do
a
something
kid called you for her
So
mom?
we put in. Let us know if you're having troubles for the holidays, whatever.
Yeah.
If you have a kid that wants to start their own business, let us know. So we can try to help them get a Cricut or something. Well, we had a couple of people call in, and then we had one girl mail me pages of she's 13 years old, and her mom had like this ancient dinosaur Cricut. Can't afford to buy a new one. It's hardly working. But she was going to school. The mom was working like 3 jobs. Is getting a job at the school to drive her bus, school bus. Also cooks in the cafeteria, and I think like volunteers at Walmart, ringing the bell.
Wow.
Trying to get a job at Walmart.
Wow.
But this girl, she and I were like talking on the phone, communicating, trying to get her mom a Cricut.
Wow.
So this girl like sent me emails, talking her mom up, and then so we gave her a Cricut.
What a sweetheart.
Wow.
She was a beautiful little girl.
It's incredible.
Beautiful little girl.
$180. completely changed their life.
Yeah. They
were
talking
so
the cartridge
worth it, too.
crickets.
They
You
were
guys know what those
so-
are?
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh
one.
They were
my
so grateful.
God.
Yeah.
How do they still work?
That's how I started.
I almost want to ask her to send it to me so I can play with
Right.
it because they're
Right.
so
You,
old.
you should get some content. Have her create some content. Send the video.
New CraftHTV.
Wait, so we
So-
did. So
Yeah.
we
Did
had
you?
them on the last day of 25
yeah,
days.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
That's really
We get-
good.
Where can
during
people
Zoom
find
calls.
that, by the way? Is it just on
Our
CraftHTV?
Facebook, right? Facebook.
We haven't harvested it down just because we've been too busy, but eventually it'll come down and it'll go on the website. You can
Okay.
watch every episode there.
So that'll all be on CraftHTV Cares, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And where do you just really quick too, when you establish the 25 days of giveaways, where do the because I know people call you, and it sucks for me too because I'm always like putting the kids down to bed, and then all of a sudden I catch like halfway through the live, and
Yeah.
so I always miss it. But like when you get phone calls from people or you're calling people on the live, are you just throwing your number in the comments and then whoever calls you, or how do you get some of
Kinda,
those?
the unfortunate part is this year we kind of played with a few different models.
Yeah.
Last year we did put the word in the comments, and then
Mhm.
Facebook dinged us for spamming. They
Got
said, "Hey,
it.
stop doing this." And
Got
so
it.
now we use our own website,
Okay.
and the consumer uses their account. They enter a contest on the website, and then a generator pulls the winner when we
Okay.
ask for it to pull us one.
Got it.
And then there's stipulations if you can and cannot win each
Yeah.
category. And then at the end of the season, which we probably should have done more frequently, is we just let people dial in our phone system. Because by the time we ran 25 days, customer experience was not open for phone. And so they could just dial in, and then 400 people calling at the same time, like a radio station.
Yeah.
Sure.
Goes right to voicemail if there's too many people on hold.
Yeah.
And we were just, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? Who are you? And then
Yeah.
while they're talking, I'm looking up their account, attaching a gift
Yeah.
card. Oh, we just gave you this. And
And they're screaming the whole time. Like,
screaming.
"Wow, what's up?"
for $25. But again, $25.
But we get on there, we say their
That's
name
cool,
out
though.
loud from
Yeah.
the camera, and they all love it. They get a shout out.
Yeah.
It's very personal.
I'm looking
That's
like
awesome.
I'm looking like sooner than that, but 4 or 5 years down the road is like you both are on TV doing this now. You know what I
We're
mean?
coming,
You know
we're
what I'm
coming for
saying?
Ellen.
I,
We're
I,
coming
I'm
for
coming
Ellen.
from Listen, Warner Brothers can send me that contract. I will
Publishers
sign.
Clearinghouse showing up with a
Any-
check at your door.
Anytime now. Yeah.
I'm ready to work for Warner Brothers. I'll do it 5
That's
days a
fun.
week.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
That's funny.
That's really
Not
cool.
worried.
Well, and that's one thing. I think that you've done incredible work. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that. You know that, and just the ability to capture an audience, maintain an audience,
Yeah.
and then also not sway away from not betray them in a way. And not to say that anybody in particular has, but influencers do it all the time. Where
Yeah.
like you just think they're somebody different than they are, and when you
I have a
meet.
great example of that.
It's offline.
It's off. It's
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
online.
is it
It's
off of-
completely out of the industry.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
no.
good.
Our friend, we'll say friend, just be nice. Jeffree Star.
Okay.
He will not. If you're a fan of his and you see him, he will not do anything with you. He will
Really?
not take your photo. He says, "Oh, honey, this is not a meet and greet."
Really?
He was
will
in
stop
the
you.
Louis Vuitton store. He sure did.
Wow.
And I will stop
He's
for
sure
anyone. I
did.
don't care. I don't. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
That will
yeah.
be the philosophy forever. I'm not interested in being rude.
Yeah.
Because that person is asking me because they care. Because
Yeah.
they're my fan. Why would I?
Well, and also
Right.
too, you've recognized. I think you've recognized that too, and that's really tough to do. Sometimes it's looked at as an inconvenience, and I get it. There's inconvenience time, right? When
Yeah.
you're 5 drinks in at the bar, hanging out.
That's a better photo.
Right. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
a better-
I don't care.
That's your opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you're trying to have a really nice dinner with somebody, I get it. But I think that most people are pretty courteous of that. You know what I mean? And for most of
You
us
would think
that
so.
are,
You would think
You would
so.
think
yeah,
You would
well,
think
you would
so.
hope
And-
so.
and-
Because they put you there.
yeah.
Exactly. They put you there. But the other side of the coin is, I mean, I love you guys, but you're not Brad Pitt. Like, you're not stopped
Yet.
everywhere
Yet,
all the
baby.
time.
Yet.
Like, you know what I mean?
You should be shocked how often we get stopped.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what I'm saying
It's
is,
really
like,
frustrating
if
sometimes.
Yeah,
I,
sort of famous.
I agree with you to a point.
Yeah.
If you're having a nice dinner or something, yeah, Tyler, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're having a nice dinner or something,
Right.
there's a way to approach people.
Right, there's a way to do it, but
100%.
it is nice that you don't lose sight of the fact that how you got here, right?
Yeah.
And that's through your following, that's through the people that invested in you, whether it's your parents or whether it's your fans.
Right.
Those people invested in you, and every time they buy something from you in particular, they're investing themselves in you and trusting you with their product or with what's going to potentially, like we said, make them money, make somebody else money,
Yeah.
or just overall allow them to start establish themselves. So it's good that you don't lose sight of that.
I was gonna say, and you guys put yourselves out there too. It's not like it's a hidden secret. Like you're welcoming that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
you can tell by your guys' demeanor and your embrace, and
Sure.
you want to help people.
Come say hello.
Come say what's up.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Do you have anything else on there?
Um,
Docket?
No, I would like to have you guys plug anything and everything because you said CraftHTV Cares. I didn't see that. Is that on the website or is that a separate?
It's still under renovation.
So we're basically developing it in a way that we want people to. We want to use it for a platform to receive requests because work emails and things. It's colliding a lot.
Sure.
And there's now hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, he has probably 1,000 requests. And it's not we can help everybody if we wanted to, but it's like who actually needs it, who's just writing to get something.
Right. Yeah.
So CraftHTV Cares is going to be available right after the first of the year.
Okay.
And there's nothing really too particular we're doing other than that.
The forum. We got to check out the forum.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the forum.
I need to see the forum too.
Under development. I mean, it's just like it's hard because we have so many things we're working on at the same time, and
I'm sure you have limited resources too, so you can only pay attention to so many things at once. If you're, well, you're very. You guys are well versed.
He sees all.
I don't know about that. Yeah, just
correct.
It's just like what's most important, and I would rather make sure
priorities. I should say.
Yeah, not letting people not buy diapers. I mean the forum is great for the community. But that's going to be community built. It's going to be everyone go on here and write about your first time using your Cricut. In this
your
category.
experiences or whatever.
And
share stories with us. Show us what you made.
Sure.
Yes.
Show us your mess ups because those are fun too.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love that.
favorite.
I love watching videos of it, and then I always get nervous to post my own because some of them are pretty tragic, and people expect you to know. You know what I mean? If they're
well, the worst is if you press something right, and it's on like an expensive garment, and you hit a seam, and you're like,
yeah, that's a rough go. But anyways, crafhtv.com.
Yep.
CraftHTV on all social platforms. You also have a group. When I always stress this about our Siser North America group, but I always stress. Join a private group like that. I mean, whether it's private or public, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But join a group because there's going to be real people that are using your products. The real people that have real experiences, and you can learn from the community that way. Obviously, you're working on the forum, so that'll be another source. CraftHTV on Instagram as well. Check out lives. Are you doing lives on a schedule right now, or
starting in January we will?
Yeah, on the 29th of December we start the schedule. Tuesdays is Trashy Tuesday.
Trashy Tuesday?
What is Trashy Tuesday?
So Trashy.
What is Trashy Tuesdays? Think of it at the bar, right?
Yeah.
Trashy Tuesdays. Everything's cheaper on Trashy Tuesdays.
Okay.
We're getting rid of all the well vodka and stuff, right? All the cheap stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what
I have a belief of no vinyl left behind. So if it's a little piece, it should be sold or given away or
Fair
something.
enough.
So Trashy Tuesday is to
like our
focus on
byproducts and
those
stuff.
weird cuts and things that because we only carry 4 standard sizes. Everything else has to be flushed out through Trashy Tuesday.
Actually, I was going to ask you, not to interrupt you on that, the Cricut Joy. Have you kind of leaned on that? Because I know you'll buy. It doesn't matter if it's an inch of vinyl. If it's on a roll, you'll buy it because there's a market for it.
We do have a product called Little Vinyl, and it's 5.5 inches wide.
Okay.
It comes in black and white HTV, easy
Nice.
weed, and then 4 colors of Fairy Tale, which is our adhesive brand. And we'll add more colors. It's getting a little bit of traction. The problem is I just don't think people use that machine. I think it's there, it's fun, but it's like, it's collecting dust, personally.
Yeah.
You're so limited, right?
So there we are.
No, the Joy.
The Joy is very
Yeah.
limited,
Yeah.
yes. And I don't know why you would need it in the first one. I mean,
Is the Joy smaller or what is
Yeah,
it?
Very
it's a
small.
I think it's 4.5 inch cutting.
5.5, yeah.
5.5
Oh, I
inch
think I've
cutting.
seen that.
Yeah.
It's a little petite. I think we have one upstairs.
That's
actually.
cute.
super cute.
It's cute.
Super cute, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean the whole point of that thing too, and I mean we talked about this before, but the whole point of it was to be able to travel with it. And I said to Chad when we first got it, I even said it to Lily, I was like, I have an Expression Air 2, you know what I mean, or Explorer Air 2, and I travel with that thing. I put it in a 31 bag, and I don't have any issues. You know what I mean?
You travel with
I have yet to
machine?
say, let's go skiing. I'm carrying my vinyl, my Cricut with me just in case I'm gonna vinyl when I'm there.
You never know. You never know. No, but you take that thing. We talked about it. Little home based business. You take it to a baseball game. Now you can customize jerseys, right?
Till they kick you out of the
Shirt.
stadium.
Until they kick you out.
With this Joy on the bleachers.
I don't know.
No,
I'm still trying to
no,
figure it
no.
out.
You don't put it on the bleachers. You got to set up a table. So I bring a table too.
I love it.
I like doing it on
You
the
know
fly
what?
right there.
Doing it on a fly.
All I heard was money. That's all I heard.
That's it.
Yeah.
See,
I just won't ever do that myself.
I appreciate it. So crafhtv.com, CraftHTV on all social media. Dalton and Lucas are live multiple times a week, and if you follow your page, it's all over the place. I got to see some production today, so appreciate you bringing in your production guy as well, Nate hanging out with us, and I got to kind of absorb a little bit of that for this setup too. We see already our camera shut off like twice. But we'll
I'm sure
figure
there's a
that.
setting change. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
all it
always
is.
there.
That's all it
It's
is.
always
I
there.
literally took it out of the box and put it up. So,
Did you?
Yeah.
So fun story. This actually used to happen to us on 25 Days, and we would run commercials, and he would put cameras during that period, so it didn't happen to us.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do that.
All figured out by him.
Why don't you just hang out here? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll shoot a couple
You hang
more
out
episodes.
Here, don't go back.
Yeah.
We'll fly
Michigan,
back.
you're welcome.
Yeah, right. This is not the
You'll
place.
love it here.
This is not
You'll
the
love
place
it
you
here,
wanna
man.
end up.
Let's go.
Build a snowman.
Oof, no.
Thank you both so much for hanging out with us. And
Yeah,
being
for
on
sure.
And spending
It's
some
been
time
fun.
and then exerting some knowledge, sending some knowledge out to people.
Yeah.
So.
No.
But if you want to find us, Decor8 Podcast, it's DECOR8 on all social platforms. We are now the Decor8 Podcast. Again, DECOR8 at CiserNA.com, SISERNA.com. This episode will be going out, I think, end of December will be this one. Very excited about this, and if you have any questions too, again, CraftHTV, you can always reach out to us as well. Everybody have a great day. You got anything else?
No, it was a pleasure to meet you guys. Honestly, you guys seem very forward thinking, giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Your outreach seems fantastic. So keep doing the great work.
It's never
Thanks.
boring.
Never a dull moment.
All right, thanks a
Awesome.
lot, guys.
Thank you guys.
Later.
All right, we love you guys.